Hey YouTube, this is Jaden Storm coming at you in Team Shadow Strike, and in this video we have a new deck profile, and this is going to be an Oracle Think Tank deck. So let's just get right into Oracle Think Tank. Okay guys, to start off, I originally, let me readjust this here. I originally was not going to do this deck. I originally was not going to build Oracle Think Tank, but I decided to build it because, you know, a lot of people, they're like, you play Kagero. Kagero and Link Joker are your main two clans. You know, maybe Royal Paladins and Narukami, you know, they'd be considered close seconds, or maybe Shadow Paladins and things like that. But Oracle Think Tank fits what you like to do and most of the decks that you've ever given us in no way. And you know what? You're completely right. But what Oracle Think Tank to me does is it reminds me of a time when I very first started the game. And I did have an Oracle Think Tank deck way back then, and I enjoyed playing it. So I decided to build the deck just to remind me that this clan was one of the very first clans that was, you know, that I ever played with, being Kagero, Royal Paladin. And I think the very first deck that I built that was not Kagero or Royal Paladin was Oracle Think Tank. So I decided to build Oracle Think Tank just to bring back those memories and a little bit of a nostalgia factor. So this video, this deck profile is just my take on the deck. Honestly, I also wanted to build it just because Oracle Think Tank is a fun deck. So let's jump straight into this deck profile. So for my starter, I play Little Witch Lulu. Now, there are a lot of ways that you can go with this deck. You can play the Tsukiyomi Ride Chain. You can play the CEO Legion like my friend Ryan does. Or you can also play the Little Witch Lulu way, which is the way that I chose to play the deck because I do like the Lulu. Basically, her ability is when you ride a Grade 3 Vanguard, and she's in your soul, you may pull her out, Soul Blast 2, and draw a card. So she does not have a Forerunner skill. She does, but it only activates when you ride a Grade 3. So when you do ride on top of her, she does not come out until you ride a Grade 3. So I like Little Witch Lulu. So this is the way I chose to play the deck. But I'm not going to be doing a Tsukiyomi version because I do not have the full Tsukiyomi Ride Chain. I might do a CEO Legion version down the road, but if you do want to see that build, I would highly suggest that you check out Ryan's. I'll put a link to Ryan's Oracle Think Tank deck in the comment section, in the description, so if you want to see the CEO Legion version, and you haven't seen his yet, it'll be there. But I like Little Witch Lulu. For triggers, 4 Psychic Bird, 4 Paisley Magus. I realize that none of my Vanguards have Magus in their name. I just like the artwork. And then 4 Oracle Guardian Nike. Now, I originally was not going to play this as a 12 crit deck because, to be real honest, I really don't like 12 crit decks because they're kind of linear. But this deck's just for fun. And this deck does draw quite a bit, so there's really no reason to play draw triggers. I mean, honestly, what I wanted to do was play 9 crits and just 3 draw triggers, because I like it during my opponent's turn when he attacks and I damage check a draw trigger. I really like doing that, so I might try out 3 draw triggers, but I thought for just the time being I would play the 12 crits because that is the more popular choice, and it is the better option, I guess, if you wanted to go competitive with this deck. But I would really honestly suggest 3 draw triggers. And then for the heal triggers, there's no other heal trigger I'll ever play in any Oracle Think Tank deck besides Lozenge Magus. So whenever she boosts an Oracle Think Tank, she goes back to the deck. So 12 crit, 4 heal. For grade 1s, we play 4 Arbitrator Aminosagir. This is the new Oracle Think Tank Perfect from G1, where when you activate it, if there's another copy of this in your drop zone, you may unflip 1 damage. You do counterblast a quite fair amount in this deck, so you do want to have this as an option. Now, I said in my meta video that this, in my opinion, along with Dragonic Overlord the Cross, is the second tier 1 deck of the format, just because of the hand that you get with this deck, and it's an extremely defensive deck. Now, this is going to hurt you a little bit against the Cross, but you're going to have such a huge hand, you should be fine. You would rather have these to unflip your damage. So that's just my opinion. Next, we play 3 copies of Divine Sword Ame no Murakumo. I think that's how you pronounce that. I think. So this grade 3, I don't know what these units are technically called. I've heard them called Stride Boosters. I've heard them called Stride Enablers. So you can pretty much call them whatever you want. But her ability is when she's placed on the rear guard, you may reveal a grade 3 in your hand and search out Battle Deity Susanoo, I think it is. No, a grade 3 with Susanoo in its name. Add it to your hand and then discard 1 card. And also when this card is discarded from your hand when you're paying the cost for Stride, it gains +2. So +2 to the levels, so you can ditch this and just immediately Stride. And then for the rest of my grade 1s, I play 4 copies of Imperial Shrine Guard Tsunagi. And 3 Oracle Guardian Gemini, or as some of my friends have called him, Naked Baby. So, it's not the most imaginary grade 1s. I mean, I've seen other people play other things, like they'll play Battle Sister Lemonades or Luck Birds, and that's fine. But you want these to boost, considering one of the win conditions in this deck, which will be made apparent very soon. And also, there's nothing wrong with just taking 2 of these and forming a 16k column if that's what you end up doing. But you can play other grade 1s like Lemonade if you want, but that's just mine. Grade 2s, we play 4 Silent Tom. This is the original troll card for Vanguard because it applies so much pressure. And honestly, guys, I have a playset of the original Silent Tom. I just prefer this print because I always liked this print when I saw it on the show. So I'm going with this one. So basically, when Silent Tom attacks, your opponent cannot guard with a grade 0 unit. So, and by playing all these grade 1s, you can stick this behind Tom and form 16k columns, and then just make it go 21, 26, 31, you know, and just make it harder and harder for your opponent to block. So Silent Tom is easily one of your win conditions in this deck. Next, we play 3 copies of Diviner Kuro Kuazuchi. This is the 1 generation break 1 unit that we play in the deck. Whenever she is boosted, you may counterblast 1 to draw a card, so it's there. It's a good card. I have 4. I just really don't think 4 is necessary. And then for the last grade 2, I'm playing 4 copies of Battle Sister Tart. Now, I originally was only playing 2 Tart and then 2 copies of another card that I don't have any of, shockingly. So when I get them, I'll playtest them. But for now, Tart is a good option because by riding Tart for your grade 2 is not bad because having a 10k body on for your grade 2 is really good. So I think this is a good, solid grade 2 lineup. So. And you can still form decent columns with this. So. And then for your grade 3s, we play 4 copies of Scarlet Witch Coco. This is an old card from BTO2, and these are the original ones that I've had. My friend Cody traded me these, and I've never gotten rid of them. They're special to me because Cody used these against me so much, and the fact that he was willing to trade these to me means a lot to me. So these cards are very special to me because they're from him, and so I'll never get rid of these. And being able to use them now means a lot because I can't begin to tell you how many times I would play against this deck of his and he would literally just trigger the hell out of me and just frustrate the hell out of me. And the fact that he was willing to pass these on to me as his friend means quite a lot. So anyway, Scarlet Witch Coco. Whenever you ride her, if your soul is empty when she whenever she attacks, if your soul is empty, she gets +3k, making her 13. And also, when you ride, if your soul is 1 or less, you may counterblast 2 to draw 2 cards. Now, to be real honest, if I had my way, I would rarely ride her. The only reason she's in here is because she goes with Little Witch Lulu, and she is... I didn't want to play the CEO Legion. I wanted to... I really like the Coco version because if you do ride Coco, you can last 1 turn on her to hunt out your Susanuos and just use Stride. But I like Scarlet Witch, and I was looking for... I've always been looking for a reason to bring this back. So this is an okay grade 3, but if I have my way, I'm not going to ride her. So if I had my way every single time, I would ride this card, which is 4 copies of Supreme Heavenly Battle Deity Susanoo. So, anyway, oh, I guess I actually lied. I played 2 Generation Break units, but anyway. Okay, her ability is Generation Break 2. During your turn, if the number of cards in your hand is 4 or more, this unit gets plus 5k and a crit, which is, having 4 cards in your hand with this deck is pretty simple. Keep in mind, since it is a continuous ability, if you have 2 cards in your hand and then Twin Drive, that gives you 4 cards, and that ability will activate. So, so if you swing for, say 16 with this, and then you Twin Drive and you have 4 cards, then she immediately goes to 21 plus a crit. So keep that in mind. Her other skill, her Heartbreak skill, is during your turn, when your G unit strides, you may counterblast 1, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put one of them into your hand, and put the other one on the bottom of your deck. So, you know, that pretty self-explanatory, but a good deck. So, a good grade 3 lineup. I mean, like I said, there's so many different versions of this deck. Some people play the Tsukiyomi Ride Chain, which I don't like particularly, because if you miss the grade 1 or the grade 2 ride, you're fucked. Because it just will screw up everything you're doing. And this is just the better choice for me. I didn't want to play the CEO Legion at first. Maybe I'll try it out. Maybe I'll do another build. But as of right now, I like the Coco version. So. Next, going over to the G deck, we play 4 copies of Soaring Auspicious Beast Kirin. Okay, this unit, his ability is Stride. So, when this unit's attack hits a Vanguard, look at the top 2 cards from your deck, search for 1 card from among them, put that into your hand, and put the rest on the bottom of the deck in any order. In a perfect world, this would probably be 1 Atmos and 1 Blizza, but Blizza's not available yet, and I don't have any extra Atmos, so I just put in 4 copies of this, because the only Atmoses I have are in my Kagero G deck, so if I did play this in tournament, 2 of these would become Atmoses. But anyway, still not bad. I mean, when you stride, this is going to be, it's still going to be just fine. And then finally, we play 4 copies of Sword Deity of Thunderbreak Take Mikazuchi. So anyway, its ability, Stride. It's Counterblast 2, choose a face-down copy of Sword Deity of Thunderbreak Take Mikazuchi from your G-Zone and turn it face-up. Then, if the number of face-up cards in your G-Zone is 2 or more, look at 4 cards from the top of your deck, search for 2 cards from among them, put them into your hand, and put the rest on the bottom of the deck in any order. So it lets you look at the top 4 and add any 2 to your hand, so you could use it to look for other key cards, like a Silent Tom with that turn. Because being able to have a 16k column in Silent Tom and an 8k boost, and be in swinging and be getting 3 drive checks, that makes Silent Tom pretty scary. It's not the best G unit in the world, but it fits Oracle Think Tank for what they do. So I think it is. I think it is very good. So anyway, guys, that is my Oracle Think Tank deck profile. So tell me in the comment section below what you guys think. Me personally, guys, like I said, I haven't played Oracle Think Tank in quite a while, but I really do have fond memories of playing my original Tsukiyomi Ride Chain deck back when that was, I think, considered the best deck around. But I really do look forward to playing this deck quite a bit. And, you know, it's nice to have an Oracle Think Tank deck again, because it is a very defensive deck. It can cause people a lot of problems because you just build up so much of a hand and they can't eat through all of it. So if you want to check out the CEO Legion version of this deck, I will put my friend Ryan's deck profile in the description, so please go check that out if you haven't already. So thank you very much, guys, for checking this out. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, leave me some questions or feedbacks below, and I'll see you guys next time.